is my pop filter so off kilter? That's very homophobic of you, pop filter. Don't be like this. You know. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you pick up what I am putting down? Wow. You're right on time. I guess, like, for you, you get the most... I was gonna get there! You get the most out of it if you show up right at the beginning. Yeah, Prosecutor's Gambit. Happy Pride, first of all, to specifically Miles Edgeworth. I did not watch the direct itself, but I woke up at 5 to 7, and I thought about watching it, and I said, no, it's not going to be anything I care about. I'm going back to sleep. And then I did, and I went back to sleep for another hour and a half, and then I woke up, and boom! On my timeline, on my Discord, everywhere, Prosecutor's Gambit, and I was like, oh my god, let's fucking go. That's so exciting. I know people are upset about some of the names. The only one I'm like, what the fuck is Sebastian's new name? But somebody was like, it's his middle name. And I'm like, maybe he's one of those kids who like normally goes by his middle name. So his middle name's Sebastian, but like his real name, like his first name is Eustace. And that's why he goes by the middle name. That's, in my head, that is the canon now. You've never heard of the Miles Edgeworth games? Oh my god, Joni, you would love them. They're really fun. I will be playing them. It feels like Capcom, I don't know if you're listening, but if you're listening, thank you, because it feels like you're making these adaptations specifically so that it's easier for me to stream, and I really appreciate that, because I'm not always the most patient with tech, so I really appreciate I can do it all off of my Switch. Mwah. Love you, Capcom. Special shout out to whoever is running the Ace Attorney English language Twitter. I want to be your friend. If you ever see this, comment. I want to be your friend. Anyway, welcome back to Justice for All. Yeah, the best time to play the investigations games is after AA4, but it's certainly fine to play them after AA3. Anytime after AA3. I just recommend after AA4 because there are a few references to AA4, just little things, not plot important, but little things that make it like, oh my god, there it is in AAI 1 and 2. So, anyway, Justice for All. We're here. We're in the last case. Edgeworth's back. Again, happy Pride. I'm really excited. I'm not sure if we're going to do the entirety of this first trial part today. We'll see how my voice goes. I have the humidifier on. I'm, what's that fucking post with the dog in the car? And it's like, the AC is on and his favorite music is playing. We'll see. But also, they are doing construction upstairs. They stopped for now. They've been done for like a couple of hours, so I think maybe they're done for the day. They've been replacing the ceiling / floor in a couple places because there was a flood. Anyway, let's get into this. I'm so excited. I had missed voicing Edgeworth so much. He's so silly. And like I said before, I don't really voice Phoenix, it's just my voice. So it's really nice to have the other character I really enjoy doing the dialogue for back. And Pearl, fucking summoned Mia, so, like, we've got this, like, trio happening, even though Maya is still kidnapped. Sub, dude. Adrian did it? That's what it looks like. Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do anything like that. Hold on, I'm adjusting my pop filter again. It was being fussy at the beginning. I don't know what I did last time I streamed. Anyway. It's 21 degrees Celsius. It's gonna get up to like, I think 20 today. But it's, the tomorrow, Thursday, Friday are gonna be pretty hot, like 34, I think. No, not 34, 30. Sorry, I'm still learning Celsius. Like 30, 31. I'm not looking forward to that. In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you. A mountain of evidence? I'm certain there's someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you. Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze, alright? I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that. The rain doesn't help the weather. That sucks. I understand. Well, it's almost time. I'm gonna say this as Mia. Well, it's almost time. Hell yeah. Mia, is it usually dry for you? Because it's usually pretty humid here. We must get a complete acquittal today. I know, but I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day. Indeed. Well, let's get going. Oh shoot, the transceiver. He's coming. It's him. This is right. Good morning. This is it, Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial. Maya, she's unharmed, right? Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how should we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really want, or what you really should be concentrating on, is winning today's trial. Classic Finnish summer weather, a lot of the rain and thunderstorms. Interesting. For my sake, as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning. Present? What in the world would you want to give me? Since the weather's been so warm in nature, it's trying to balance itself out, yeah. You'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please. Wait! Alright, you fucking cryptic bitch. The kidnapper sent me a present? Mr. Lawyer, dude? Who is that? No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything. Dude, did your nose just get longer? Nice. Yeah, it's actually the opposite here. Usually it's very rainy in the Pacific Northwest. And then during the summer, it gets dry and hot. Oh, hello? Where's Fran? Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ongard. The prosecution and the defense ready? The defense is ready, Your Honor. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Ms. Von Karma? I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me? Your Honor. Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, what is it? Quick out of topic to the Miles Edgeworth games. Have you only played the OG versions that were only out in Japan? So I own the DS Investigations 1. So I played the official localization of 1. And then 2, I played a fan translation of the English. I would love to play all of the games in Japanese as well. But I did play the fan translation of AAI 2. It was good. There were a few things that I was like, And also, like, it was very obvious to me that the people who did the translation and localization, a lot of them were probably British English users, because there were things that, like, were weird at points. But it was really well done. So I'm interested to see how Capcom decides to handle the localization and translation for this official version. I do trust them to do a good job, because, like, people are complaining and people get very attached to fan versions, but the thing is, it's not like localization and translation for games, or any project really, happens overnight, and I wish more people would realize that, like, there is a very strict set of checks and balances in any decently sized company for any localization project. So, and I'm speaking from experience, having done localization myself, and like, I have projects that exist in the world that, you know, but the fan translations are going to be weird now. Yeah, I think they'll still have value, but a little weird, yeah. Prosecutor Von Karma has... This morning, Ms. Von Karma was shot by an unknown gunman. Damn. What? Shot? Somehow, I think this is the present that man was talking about. His present? Ms. Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear... Excuse me. It would be to your advantage. This is totally insane. Ms. Von Karma, is she alright? I don't have that answer. Hey, speak of the devil. She's alive and in stable condition. That's good. Phew. Oh, you're... She will remember that. Your Honor. I missed you. I missed you being in court. Due to the circumstances, Miss Franziska von Karma cannot appear in court today. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place. The prosecution is ready. Naturally. It's been so long. Oh my god. Hey! Ms. Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder and is currently undergoing surgery. He's back with a new theme to assert dominance. So true. Also, her getting a matching wound to her father is something I think about a non-zero amount of times. Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details. The prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Ungard. The court acknowledges the prosecution. Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. By the time this case comes to an end, you too will know the answer. Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand. Witness, your name and occupation. My name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm a detective down at the precinct. For now. For now. After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir. Detective Gumshoe. The prosecution has no need for a depressed witness. Okay, pot calling the kettle black. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Dick Gumshoe. Yes, sir. Now, let's have your testimony. If we want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that. Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight. Yeah, it would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent. Edgeworth, please! You know him! The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth. Get his ass. This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. The victim, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that the guitar case had nothing to do with the murder. Suspicious. Nande? After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Yes, sir. Both the victim and the defendant went alone to their rooms, sir. I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Okay. Okay, what's up? Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony? Okay, pal. Ceremony started at 6 o'clock p.m. Okay? It ended around 8 p.m., and then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later. Okay. So Maya disappeared between 8 and 8:30, and that's when the victim's body was found, correct? Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period. Sorry, just 30-minute break period. Like, it's correct, but it threw me. Please continue with your testimony, detective. Victim, okay. The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct? Yeah. Who is this Adrian Andrews you're talking about? BRB, okay. She's the defendant, Matt Onguard's manager. She's a really pretty lady, sir. Ah, so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence. When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Onguard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, sir. I see. And that's when she found the victim's body. Okay. The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Kurita was stabbed in the chest? Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal. Isn't that what you told me? Take a good, hard look at the crime photo. Now, a real pro's attention would be drawn here, to this bandana. Banana. His bandana, sir. That's the thing wrapped tightly around his neck, sir. Oh, yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana. Then, what about the knife? Just ignore the judge having a stroke. It seems to be stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death. We have a crafty murderer on our hands here. Okay. At first we thought there was something okay. And why did you think that? Because it was empty, pal. The Jammin' Ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the scene of the crime. Oh, and how about this theory? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that? We thought of that too, but... The only fingerprints on the guitar case were the victims. Only the victims, huh? I see. So much for my theory, then. I suck at this. Okay. Nothing to do with the murder. Okay, whatever you say. What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case? The case has nothing to do with the case. Okay, I get it. The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night. Well then, where was it? The bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir. So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case? Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel. Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all. I believe that is enough. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana. Then, after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Sorry, the way I said deliberately really reminded me of that part in The Lion King where Mufasa goes, "You've deliberately disobeyed me." Do you know what I mean? Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Onguard? Because there was a reason enough to suspect him. Here it comes. Looks like Edgeworth's back in full swing. Very well. Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter. Yes, sir. Matt Onguard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It was ripped off of the ninja's costume and was found in Mr. Onguard's hakama. I feel like he would say hakama. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought the knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder. Murder. Judas.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing.
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir. And there's this button.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood?
Yes, and we know that the blood on it is the victim's blood, sir. What?
All of this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right? No. I'll find the hole in your argument somehow. I'm good at finding other holes. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions. I love these guys. Unfortunately, I love them. But in terms of popularity, Mr. Engard won, did he not? Yeah, but you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corrida was always one step behind Mr. Engard in everything. This year it seemed like he'd finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown. But Mr. Corrida lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Wait just 1 second here. Mr. Engard was beating Mr. Corrida in the popularity polls. Well, yeah, I guess, but... Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
Yes, I quite agree. Well, Detective?
It's not... Well, I guess if you put it that way, then yeah, the defendant would have had no motive. Detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired. No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's... I look forward to your pension negotiations. No!
Now, Detective. Let's continue with the testimony.
No, not my poor pension, too. Detective, if you value your money, I suggest you secede? Was about what I said. Sorry. If you value your money, I suggest you proceed. Yes, sir. Oh, we can talk about my pension later, sir. What about what I was saying? Hello? Anyone? Hello? Hello? Do you have any proof that that button belonged to the victim? Huh? What do you mean, pal? Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off of the Jammin' Ninja's costume. Huh? But can't you tell by just looking at it? And the victim's blood is on it. Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward. Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sir. Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in. Thread. Huh? The button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off. If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the threads on this button, it's a perfect match. Yeah, that's it. They're a perfect match, pal. Ooh. That's Edgeworth for you. Never misses a beat. When was this button found? Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corrida. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people. Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? He's flirting. Stop flirting. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife? Huh? What do you mean, pal? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. For example, did he hold it normally or overhand? Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that. I can't believe the bumbling of this department. Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony, right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There was no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So is the defendant the owner of this knife, then?
Not sure about that one, King, but I'll bite. There's no way that this was a premeditated murder, even if he bought the knife. Sorry, pal. This isn't some pocket knife. It doesn't fold, so it's not great for walking around with either. Well, this is not good. If the prosecution can prove it was a premeditated murder, we're done for. Phoenix! Yes? There's something very interesting about what the detective just said just now. Think carefully, before it's too late. A button covered in the victim's blood, and a knife with Engarde's fingerprints. Be grateful. If the judge were more rash, he would have already pounded his gavel in closing. We're still in a world of trouble. Well, before any battle, you must find your enemy's weakness. So let's find the weakness in this testimony, no matter how small it may be. Okay, Phoenix? Okay. I am gonna pop a quick save. Just in case. But I believe... Okay, let's go through the evidence, though. So we have this picture of him. Dude, this costume design, I know I keep saying it, but it's really good. Okay. We have this, we have this, we have this. Okay. We have the map. There's some water, but only on top of the lid. Okay. 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 Suicide report, right. Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it is what I thought. Oh, Gumshoe, I need you to use your eyes. Wait a second. What? So the basis of your argument that this was a premeditated murder is simply that my client bought a knife beforehand? That's right, pal. The defendant did not buy this knife. Hey, Greg! Huh? Take a good look at the handle of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Huh?
It has Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I've heard that name somewhere before. That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel. Uh-oh. That's funny. The murder knife was actually the property of this hotel, which means that this murder was not premeditated.
Yes, that is very true. This is very big. What is it, Mr. Edgeworth?
I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless. What? I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined. How so? I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this. But I didn't know. Oh. The question is, where did this knife come from?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Credo's room.
Sorry, Your Honor, but that is incorrect. The victim ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case, I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
There's a knife and fork on the table. Then...
I think Edgeworth should be allowed to say no shit, Sherlock.
Where in the world did this knife come from?
If it pleases the court, I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt Ongard. Especially what was on top of his table, or perhaps what was not on top of the table. If I'm honest. There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife. We investigated the leftover dishes for fingerprints, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that Mr. Matt Ongard's knife was missing. Ugh. Mr. Ongard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on his visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe that the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Except he didn't kill with the knife. You guys keep going back and forth on that. Last time we talked Hades, I cleared a run, finally on the 53rd attempt. Yeah! Oh, the Poseidon... Title Dash is so good. Hangover, also, I really just... It melts. Hangover and Title Dash melt. If you get, like... Yeah, it's... Yeah. And then I one time I did, like... I got, like, Athena's Call, too. It's perfect. It was kind of funny that it was on Father's Day. That's really funny. I love that. Oh, that's so exciting.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning. This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it. But it's not a good trap. He didn't murder with the knife.
A murder weapon with fingerprints on the button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste... Let me try that again. It's been a while since I've been in court. Please forgive me. I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
Evidence not yet shown? He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well... Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. Artemis has that support fire that's just ridiculous. It's very broken. If we answer with something wrong here, that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our defeat.
Mr. Wright, do you have something important and necessary to present to this court?
I'm gonna say yes, just in case. There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention. Something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all. However, I am giving you one chance, and only one.
Okay. I don't. Okay. I feel like it's gotta be one of these two, right? Probably this. But we'll see if...
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Ooh! Alright, I'm gonna have to think. Using my brain cells.
You may now present one, and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is the important evidence that you must show to the court?
Okay. I don't think this matters. Does it? Because what this would disprove is that there are fingerprints. But if he ate without his stuff on, it's how do I say? If he ate without this stuff on, of course his fingerprints would be on the knife. I also don't remember which is right, but I'm gonna just go through and do my best. Okay, so I don't think this is useful. This is not useful right now. This is not useful right now. This is not useful. This is not useful. This is not useful. We talked about this already. And it's been updated, so I'm gonna say it's not this. I think it's this, but let's come back. I don't think it's this. We've looked at this already. This is not relevant yet. And this has been updated. Okay, I think it has to be the wine glass, right? Well, I saved, so... Okay, good. I was like... Because we haven't tied it into Adrian yet in the court, so it, like, we can't use any of that other evidence yet. Okay, we're good.
This is a wine glass, is it not?
Please look at the photo of the crime scene one more time. The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Well, yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over, along with everything else, is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration. Well, what do you all have to say?
Well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was.
And stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now.
This is good. I love Phoenix.
Mr. Edgeworth,
What is it, Your Honor?
your opinion?
You don't need my opinion. Because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What? It's safe. Oh my god, which voice?
It's been a while. It's safe to say the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the glass down without thinking.
That does sound very plausible, Mr. Wright.
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking?
Hey, Tetra! Dude, yeah, I haven't watched the full thing yet. I will watch it after stream. But yeah, that was crazy news to wake up to. Happy Pride. I'm gonna say no. It feels really deliberate that she put it there, doesn't it? If I appear weak here, the trial's over. I can look for my proof later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty. Yeah. They just might fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough. The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Ms. Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual. Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
I haven't seen any of it yet. I don't care about spoilers. Sounds like something big happened. Yeah! Ace Attorney Investigations 1 and 2 are getting an official localization and release for modern systems. Happy Pride. Alright, I'm calling it here. Hold on. I'm saying this. I want this on the record. I find it fascinating. And again, I just remind you all. I know y'all know, but I'm reminding anyone who watches the VODs. I ship Phoenix and Edgeworth. I'm sorry, not sorry. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch. It's fine. But I find it fascinating that the English language Twitter account has been pushing. They've been teasing things about the ship. They've been making jokes about it. That's the word I'm looking for. They've been making jokes about the ship, especially this month. Then they release specifically in the June Nintendo Capcom could have done its own thing, but in the Nintendo Direct for June, they specifically released the Miles Edgeworth games. I'm just say he's gay, Capcom, you fucking cowards. I am calling it here. If there is an AA7 and Edgeworth shows up, and they for some reason, somehow, make him canonically gay. They've been hinting at it this whole time. And I connected the dots. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. I'm not going to be butthurt about it because I don't really care about the canon that much anyway. Like, who care? But I'm calling it, I want it on the record here because if it does happen, I want you all to come back here and go, Kat, you were right. I want everybody to come back and be like, Kat, that's the smartest thing you've ever said. And I'll be like, yeah, I peaked at age 32. I peaked at age 32 in regards to a game about gay lawyers. What am I to say? Anyway. Even if it doesn't come to mean anything, I do think it's really funny. I do think all the coincidences are, like, really funny. But if it wasn't a coincidence and it ended up being, like, hinting the whole time, that would be crazy, right? Anyway. What?
You're not thinking hard enough today, right? Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Then...
Of course it has been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints.
Fingerprints?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were of one Adrian Andrews.
What? I mean... Okay, yeah, well, even if she did do that afterward, it's still suspicious that it's there. Why would she do that, right? It's still suspicious. It doesn't take away from her argument, actually.
That is why I said the person who... Let me try this again. That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Are we done here, Mr. Wright?
I can't believe I fell into another trap.
Ms. Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Kurita. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
But we found the tomato juice in Juan's room. It wasn't in On Guard's. It's still suspicious.
Now do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well.
No, it doesn't. How about that?
I've thought long and hard this...
I hate this game.
I've thought long and hard this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Wait a second. Mr. Edgeworth, I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
He's like,
please, he's already bleeding on the ground.
He's already dead. Stop shooting, he's already dead.
Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
Another witness?
Yes. Bailiff, please bring in the next witness.
What in the world is Mr. Edgeworth thinking? Ugh. Oh boy.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation. Witness, your name and occupation, please.
Mike was out. Gotcha.
Ugh. I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Angie boy, it's been, what, a year since we last met, hasn't it?
I need to get into her voice again.
You should be more happy to see me.
I saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under that helmet it was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand?
That's probably one of his funniest lines.
I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do. So today I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that terrible crime is all this court needs to know. No!
Shush! I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Yes, madam.
No, 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 please. By all means, interrupt her, please! Anyway, witness, your testimony, please.
It's true what they say, that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder. Is this correct, Ms. Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that on guard saying he's cute in a fresh way or something. But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a child like him. I'm only interested in real men. And a real man, Juan Corrida.
They were like, yeah, but those two were the same age. I mean, they sure didn't look it, right? Like, that's not. That's two very different types of 21 years old.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo. Anyway, after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time. That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was On Guard, Matt On Guard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
So Mr. On Guard came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
I let that sigh out, and it's like accidentally became Edgeworth's voice line. My therapist was like, "You should sigh, like let yourself sigh more." And I'm like trying to do like sometimes you do just need to let out a deep breath. They talk about intaking deep breaths all the time, but they don't talk enough about like letting out the deep breath. Ms. Oldbag, what was your post on that night?
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai show. I even took out a few of the nails.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I'd take a break and spread my wings a little.
Thanks for stopping by, Greg. Have a good day.
And that's when you
went to hang around the victim's door? Something you were interested in? Then just what was that?
It's not some little thing I can just go around telling everyone, you know. It's top secret between me and Juan. And Edgy Poo, of course.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I have no idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. Gossip? But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to her testimony later. It looks like we should enforce it right now.
And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
Oh? Then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Corrida's room?
I have no idea. I wasn't born so I can count things for those who didn't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Is that why we've never gotten her age? That's super funny.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct? Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room. He was...
Yes, he was.
I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh, what I wouldn't give to have Franziska's whip right about now. Yeah, honestly, like, I'm glad Edgeworth is here, but having Fran here to redirect the conversation into what it's supposed to be would be really nice right now.
Well, I guess I can tell you since he was such a bad boy anyway.
You saw my client? Are you sure about that?
Yes, really? Annoying brat, when I say I saw someone, I saw that person.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid a repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. Let's do this. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
Well, it does, because it did last time. But it does.
Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Men.
Right.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
I'm gonna say it's important, because I think we might have something to refute it. Of course it was important, Your Honor. Then perhaps you would have liked to point out what part of that testimony was important. Okay, maybe it wasn't. Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket to be appended to her testimony.
I don't quite see where you're going with this, but alright. Witness, please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must.
He was wearing the flashy racing jacket. Okay, do I have... Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption. She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying. That's bad for us. Really bad. But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic. She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time, hasn't she? But that's what makes her a sweet old lady, right? It's because you're not the one who has to question her. Okay. After the ceremony, I went to the law. Okay. Let's do this again. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Oh, I can't go back? Oh, that sucks. Okay. Something you were interested in. I have no idea, it was gossip. Okay. Since I was on the job. Okay. Oh, and then would you tell us the amount of people you didn't know? Okay. The thing is, wouldn't he have been wearing his costume because they had just had the ceremony? But I don't know how to, like, I don't know. Like, oh, I totally know, because he was, okay, he was in the Hakama because he was found by the police in the Hakama. They searched him in the Hakama. It has to be this. Okay. I was like, I don't know how to get there. Okay. I remembered. I forgot that was a detail. This game is very, and I don't mean just this game, but like Ace Attorney in general expects you to read these descriptions, and sometimes I forget to. But that's important. It's not just the physical object itself. You have to read the description because there's something in it. Okay. It's fine. Ms. Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
It's a button number 2 on the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here! Give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
Wow. She really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This button was discovered on Mr. Engarde's body during a full body search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a doubt. This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was that rascal Engarde.
It was caught up in the pleats of his nickel samurai hakama pants.
See? See? And Engarde is the nickel samurai.
Witness! Now, it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination, but just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt Engarde, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
I'm so sorry. Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear. I wore the trendiest dress. Maybe you think I'm the trendiest woman ever, but instead I have to put up with this ridiculous... Okay, you are doing this is hideous, or I've got a tape recorder inside my head, and let me tell you, it's heavy. So heavy, I wish you could have seen such a CD a year ago, but I'm keeping the dream going. Do you understand when I take a look at the mirror? Your clothes are bound and interesting, a documentary on curling. You should take the tip and edgy on that. He's got style.
Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engarde, the man, but Mr. Engarde, the nickel samurai.
But when you think about it,
There she goes again.
they're really one and the same anyway.
Ms. Oldbag, this is a very important point we're talking about.
Nenji Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering. Just say it's important and agree with me for a change. Poor Sarah.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Oh, all right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you. Take a sip.
Engarde. Yes, now I remember. The nickel samurai, that's right. It was the nickel samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that nickel samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan.
I knew it. I knew you'd say that he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think that there could have been someone else inside that costume? Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Youngins today, I told you there's no way that it was anyone else.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago. Enjoy your phone call.
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Who I saw.
What do you mean now you remember? Would you please get on with your testimony?
Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
A striking figure by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai.
She's actually singing. Someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and just stick to the facts.
Okay, you promise, right?
Right. I'll be sending the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date.
Remind me to send you a thank you note later too, Edgeworth, you old chum. That's a really funny interaction. They're so special. Be a little bit more careful with your testimony, please.
Not too long ago you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not?
Not too long ago. All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
And why would that be?
That way no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child, you know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Yeah, they go to that post-ceremony too. Okay. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja?
Of course it included him. That's why when On Guard came out of Dear Juan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Interesting. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai?
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet? You don't need to think too hard on this one. Yeah, I know what to disprove, I don't know which piece of evidence. Huh? There's a contradiction in her testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what the contradiction means for us. Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. God, they better not start construction again, I'll be so sad. Okay. Okay, so the Nickel Samurai outfit. He has gloves on. So it goes back to the fingerprints, right? So I feel like it would have been convenient for him to wear the costume during the murder. We don't need anything to disprove. He had to go to that post-ceremony stage show. That's true. He must have worn it. I feel like we have to show the knife here because this has his fingerprints, right? Okay, cool. Please take a look at this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
No, that's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have to ask. It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Is that what you are driving at? That is exactly what I'm driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
Edgar's like, Phoenix, you don't even have a license. He's like, I can figure it out, it's fine. Well, you're not driving my car. It's fine, I'll borrow someone else's. We're not stealing a car. I mean, we could. I could borrow Emma's. Isn't Emma in Europe? Details. If Mr. Ongard really was in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing. And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? There's no way he would do something like that. However, there was one possibility. Then let's hear your possibility. It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show. Which is why he took his gloves off.
But the murder still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, What do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
It's kind of bullshit, right? Like, you just said that they don't get along. So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his testimony? I mean... This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony. What are you babbling on about? Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. Ongard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. Is it because of this knife again? Because it's from, like, it has to be from Ongard's room, right? Like, that's the only thing I can think of. Okay, good. This knife. This was used by Mr. Ongard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was, in fact, the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Kurita. I suppose. However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1. And one more thing. And another thing! I love when he does, and another thing. If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer? Why would the murderer do such a thing?
To frame Matt Ongard. Like, it's to frame my client, Mr. Ongard, of course.
To frame?
Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one? Don't talk to me about hard. But we just established that the witness that saw the Nickel Samurai in costume. And if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife. Ugh. Witness!
Looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Jipu?
Witness, did you or did you not really see the Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. Ongard with the Nickel Samurai? His character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of their doors because, well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai? Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
The way you think you are, sad amateur with this terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So Oldbag was waiting around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida. Yeah, she didn't need to, because she was security. Why would she need to do it? Maybe. Phoenix. Maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person. If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Ms. Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you? Do I show this? Survived the phone call, congratulations. It is always, you know that meme that's like the, it's like my schedule for the day, and it's like, prepare for a phone call, and then like,
and then it's like scheduled phone call, and then after that it's like 4 hours of like recover from phone call. Oh, you're behind. Oh no. That's okay. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. I relate to that so much. Okay, I think I need to just present her. If that doesn't, okay, I was gonna say, if that doesn't go through, I need to present the article.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. Onguard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor.
Oh, this is... Well, I see.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
Then this manager with the initials AA, are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine.
Oh, oops.
That's fine. I can throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness, what in the world are you?
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I got some I got some information from some very secret information from a certain source.
I lost her voice. It's gone.
So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course. There we go.
What for?
Oh, just for myself. Personal reasons and all that.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then. Witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready. This is gonna take the wind out of you youngins.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old. First of all, I'm 11.
That Onguard is one evil, evil man. He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So to do that, he sent his own manager to get close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret, you got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Girl.
The defendant sent his manager. What a distasteful topic for this court.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a saying, the truth is never pleasant?
Never heard that one before.
Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will toward the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited right now.
That's right.
Oh, that's right. Onguard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth.
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire. Time to fire up the afterburners and hit the highway to the danger zone. That is the dumbest shit you've ever said, Phoenix. I love you so much, but that's so stupid. That's so stupid. I love him, but he's so stupid. Okay. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just slander.
But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Ms. A.A.
But the name of the magazine this came from is called Gossip Land.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies? What do you know? I suppose next you'll swear to me that the news is 100% truth.
She's got me on that one.
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
Discriminate? When did I do anything like that?
Anyway, Onguard will never get me to say touche.
ears are itchy because it's dry. A scandal? What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle school these days?
No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that Onguard thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
You don't have any proof that Mr. Onguard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock. The shock of hearing the truth. And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right. I can't do anything, but boy do I wish I could do something about you.
Alright then, Sonny. Show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Onguard didn't bear any ill will toward Juan?
I really... I mean, like... I don't think that I can. Like... I don't have anything to offer.
See, just as I thought. And you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want, whenever I want, silly boy.
Me and my big mouth. I mean, like...
That's the way the cookie crumbles. For you, anyway.
Because, like, I mean, I guess I could. Okay, I'll think about that. So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you youngins need.
You were going to teach her a good lesson.
I was going to make her eat the damaging beams of my ray gun. Like this.
No, stop!
Well, it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
Wait.
Damn it. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
Secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this is secret information?
Huh? Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drilled a hole into my brain, you'd never find out.
How in the world did that old bat get such a secret piece of information? How? I mean, I guess we could present something here, though. So no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Old Bag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it!
Oh yeah, because we never got the camera back. Witness. I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it? Yeah, we never got this back. The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss Andrews.
What?
Oh, wrong voice.
What outrageous ideas you say?
No. I said impressions.
Then everything written on this paper is completely meaningless.
Aha! That's it! The note.
No, you see, this is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of Juan's, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with that evil Onguard. She said so herself. Onguard, I'm his sidekick. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written.
I don't even know what to say. You are so full of it. It's like, I can feel myself aging right now. Being back in this country, I can feel it. I can feel the wrinkles forming in my forehead.
Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you? I was only trying to help out like the angel I am. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
Well, it was only a piece of paper. I suppose we can overlook this just once.
She looks like she's really sorry. All around me are familiar faces.
Yeah.
Should I forgive her? Pile on more pressure. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness! You said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
Stall, why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from that terrible lonely trash can, that's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Are you putting my credibility under scrutiny again? Sorry, I'm saving again.
Ms. Oldbag, I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. The camera itself is missing. Ms. Oldbag, that note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, my sweetie, $1,600 camera disappeared on me.
Why, witness?
What is it, Gramps? If you had the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Well, looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
That's...
What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, I fall in love, and borrow things from people.
I think your definition of borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed it said, Slimebag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire. Well, when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
I wish she'd decide about the helmet.
Bailiff, check this camera's photos. Hurry. We must examine them at once. Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
There is only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case.
Please present it to the court.
Oh.
This is the Nickel Samurai.
See, I told you. That's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about this matter. What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person in it is the defendant. However, in his own confession, Mr. Engard clearly stated that at the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is
the defendant.
Nuh-uh.
What the fuck do you mean, nuh-uh?
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly. We have not. Final comments, Mr. Wright. The court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
No. If this photo really is decisive, then we're done for. But if I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. Okay. I know what the problem is. Again, don't know which thing to... I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo that Lotta took, there's something strange with it, for sure. There's something strange with this photo. I knew this was coming, right?
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree that there is nothing strange with this photo. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with the bunker buster. What the fuck is that? Edgeworth, what are you talking about?
Debunk with the bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr. Wright?
I don't even know what that is. Anyway, Please look at the photo one more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo, then you should only need one chance, correct?
Well, I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. I know there's something wrong with it. Where in the heck did she take this photo from anyway? It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts? It's a $1,600 camera, for fuck's sake.
Now then, let's hear your objection. What about this photo is strange?
Look at the fucking pants dragon. I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
The costumed person in this photo could not have been Mr. Ongard.
What is the meaning of this?
Oh, Edgeworth, here he comes with his Steel Samurai universe unlimited knowledge. Well, sorry to break it to you, but you're wrong. I wonder if you would care to elaborate, with actual facts, that is.
His socks! You can see his socks!
Exactly. However, in this photo, the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his hakama up just to walk. There's only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time. That's curious. Huh? What is? Edgeworth is unusually calm today. That's true. He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride. Along for the ride? What do you mean by that? I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all. He doesn't feel under attack? Then I haven't damaged his case at all?
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Ongard, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
I figured it would come to this. What? Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Ongard. In that case, who is this a photo of? Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume? Don't stress over this, Phoenix. It's very simple. What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think? Yeah, why is he so calm? He's on meds now. Yeah, he went to Europe, he took a vacation, he went to therapy, well, maybe not, maybe once or twice, and he got medicated.
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts. Who is the person in this photograph?
Well, I think it has to be Miss Adrian Andrews, don't you think?
Adrian Andrews.
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it's none other than this woman. And why would you say that it must be Miss Adrian Andrews? What in the world points you to her? For starters, she's short, and she can freely move around in and out of Mr. Ongard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Ongard that night.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Ongard's fingerprints all over it.
The knife that was used as the murder weapon.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right? A kiss? I have to do this now. This is my last chance to turn things around and have him finally date me. The defense moves to indict Ms. Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Ms. Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime. Sorry, I tripped over my words during the most important line.
Order! 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 It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development. Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, Your Honor.
This court is issuing a subpoena for Ms. Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it. is kind of bad for us. Huh? What do you mean? If Adrian Andrews is summoned to court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day. One more day? If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya.
Now then, we shall set Ms. Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court.
Are you raising a fucking objection, my guy?
Now then.
That's a boy. Please, Your Honor, continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
No, I don't want to. I can't do that. We cannot hear Ms. Andrews' testimony if she is not.
Hold it. I abhor wasting such valuable time. Edgeworth. Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
But we cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Unexpected development? I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way into subpoenaing Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan, even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on. What?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Ms. Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby. She is the next witness. Everything was planned out in advance by that. We got a Batman mention, let's fucking go. Somehow, I knew there was no way Edgeworth would overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over. Exactly.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess. Please prepare your witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
To be continued. Unfortunately, the judge's voice, doing it for like any longer than this, really kind of fucks me, if I can be so honest. And this next half is quite long from what I remember. It is as long as this, if not longer. So, unfortunately, this is gonna have to be Thursday. And the even worse news is that it's supposed to be quite warm on Thursday. I'm hoping I'll still be able to stream, but there's a real possibility that I will be too fucked from the heat. In case you don't know this about me, I get heat exhaustion very easily. And even though I live in like a pretty cool like environment in my little basement suite, it really affects me, especially because it's going to be so sunny. So I'm really hoping. I'm really going to try. But we're not finishing it today. Bottom line, we're not finishing it today. But it was fun. This trial's a lot of fun. I love this trial so much. So, the good news is that Saturday evening, more Hamtaro. Fucking Hamtaro. And then Tuesday, definitely. Next Tuesday and Thursday should definitely not be a problem. Yeah. I'm really hoping that we can finish this game, like, relatively soon, because July and August, because of the heat, may end up being, again, a little rough as far as schedule goes, because of... It's hot. And I'm baby. Yeah, fucking hams unite. So, anyway, I can't wait for more of this game. And yeah, wow. Investigations Duology, official localization, and it's happening in Virgo season. Let's fucking go, Earth signs. Anyway, you know the drill. Take care of yourself. Take care of others. Be good to yourself. Be kind. Stay safe. Stay hydrated. That's a big one right now. Stay hydrated. And yeah, you got it. It's that time of year. Northern Hemisphere, let's fucking go. Stay safe, stay hydrated, gang. Thanks for hanging out. And I will see you when I see you. Hey, Maddie! I'll see you when I see you. Okay. Bye.